Okay guys, we'll be starting in 1 minute. So just to let you know, if you've just joined in, this webinar is being recorded on a couple different devices, so they'll be backup and you'll be able to watch for 5 days as well after this presentation. And make sure to maximize your view on the window there so that you can get a full screen. Throughout this webinar, we'll be doing drills and working through them, but I'm also going to give you guys a minute to work on them on your own. And even if you're in a small space, like let's say you even have your laptop in your bedroom, you'll be able to work through the drill just in a small space. Even if you just mimic it to get the feel for it, at least to get it in your mind to work through it so that when you get to the gym, if you're not in the gym now, if you get to the gym, that you can start working on it later. Okay, we're gonna start in 30 seconds. All right, guys? So I'll introduce you when we start.
Yeah, nice. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get you right up here. Okay, everyone, we're going to start the webinar. Thank you for those of you who are joining right now and everyone as well who's going to be watching this later. I'm with John Kellett of the Body Temple in Toronto, Ontario. He's going to be helping me work through this webinar, live seminar. Now, there will be quite a few partner drills or things that you can work with a partner. Although if you don't have a partner right now, that's fine. Or even if you have trouble getting a partner, you can always shadow box them or to a certain extent use them on the bag. Ideally though, if you can get a partner to work these drills with, that's going to help. Today we're going over sparring tactics, but basically I would say it's more like sparring development, techniques and strategies and ways of developing your skill that you can bring to your sparring that are going to help you in your fights. Now we have a lot of different kind of fighters out there, from inside fighters to rangy outside fighters to southpaws. So some of this will be catered towards a certain type and a fighter, and others will be catered to another type of fighter. But if, let's say, you are a tall, rangy guy, you can always take what we're doing for the shorter fighter and think it through to work against that fighter. Or as well, you can implement some of those moves, because you never know, even if you're 6'2", you might have to spar somebody who's 6'3" or 6'4". So the tables can always be turned. So make sure in this, again, in this session that you maximize your screen on your video, and that way you get the best view possible. Okay, we're gonna get started on the technical stuff right now. Okay, thanks. So the first concept I want to go over is distance. And everybody, for your distance, you are going to have sort of a distance that you like. And it's dependent on a couple of things. It's dependent on your reach and your range, and it's also dependent on your speed. And I'll show you how your ability will influence your distance and how you can also affect or change distance with your skills and ability. So I've got these puffy gloves on. Me and John are about the same, pretty much the same height, but I'm going to use these kind of to show somebody with a longer reach, just put my hand in to get a longer reach. In general, he's in his position right here. We're fighting. Your distance in general is the length of your arm on a full extended punch plus a quick step. Okay? So whenever you're sparring somebody, if I'm in too close, he reaches out his hand, he can already hit me. So I'm not in the best range unless I want to be on the inside. If I want to maximize my range, I'm going to go to the full extent of my punch and be a quick step away. Now, there are a number of ways that you can influence your distance. If I know that I'm faster than my opponent, I can be further out. Because by the time I take my quick step, If he's slower than me, he doesn't have time to react. So my speed can give me more room and more space. And you'll see that a lot. Faster fighters, they can fight from the outside and keep safe if their style is an outside style. So that's the first concept to get down. If I'm a slower fighter, then I have to have other advantages to make up for it, which is good lateral motion, good head movement. If I'm a shorter fighter, I have to have good lateral motion and good head movement to get closer. For example, John reaches out his glove to his maximum range. I simulate the taller fighter. I reach at mine. There's the target. Now he goes back to his position. This space right here is a place that he has to avoid as he comes in. So if I get to here, I'm already going to hit him before he hits me. If we both go the jab at the same time, boom, I've contacted first. So this is the nature of boxing. Having a longer reach versus shorter reach is the distance and the speed to get to your target. But on your way to your target, if two people throw and they're both the same speed, then boom, taller person's going to connect first. As an outside fighter, I don't even have to move. Let's say he steps into me with a jab. Boom, he's going to get hit on his way in. If he's really fast, like I said before, he steps and I don't have time to react, then maybe we'll hit at the same time or whatever. So the first drill that I like that you can work with a partner just to get a feel for distance is a jab exchange drill. I'm going to throw a jab, get back to my comfort spot. My opponent is going to throw a jab and get back to the comfort spot. You can block it any which way you want. You can block it with a catch. You can snap back. You can cover. You can slip. Whatever sort of defense you want to work. With this jab drill, I can try to get really close and throw it, or I can go from far. The problem with going too far, if I'm too far out, whatever kind of fighter I am, here's my optimal distance, my quick step, boom, I can touch. If I'm too far, all of a sudden, my step becomes a lunge. I get out of position, it's easy for him to see me coming. I lunge, and then he jabs me, boom, and I can walk into something. So again, you have to find that right feel. So if you can if you're with a partner now, you can work this. Take a look, we're gonna do it for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna get you guys to work on it. If you're on your own, you will just shadow box it for about 30 seconds. So we're gonna get going into the jab exchange drill. It's just back and forth jabs, getting a feel for your distance. Okay, ready? Let's go. I'll start. Time. So you can see how the distance was changed or affected by different things I was trying. A couple times I tried to get close, a couple times I was on the outside. Same with John. At certain times he was slipping the shot, snapping back. That also changes the distance. If somebody snaps back, then I realize that I got to get closer to get that right hand. If they cover, then he's right there for me. So not only is your reach and your step affecting the distance, but the behavior of your opponent and what they're doing to change that. The defense is going to affect the distance as well. But in general, the jab exchange drill with different types of defense is a way to get a feel for your ideal spot and ideal position. And generally, if you can work this drill with people of different heights and sizes, that's going to get you used to realizing what's ideal for you. Again, for example, let's say John is the shorter fighter, I'm a much taller fighter, and we're working this drill. Well, he doesn't necessarily want to be right there because all I got to do, pop, pop. So he has to go further out. He steps a little bit back. He has to go from there. And when he goes from there, he's got a whole new set of problems, which we're going to cover in a little bit. But first, before we get to the shorter fighter, I want to cover different tactics for the taller fighter and show you how that works. And after this is a drill that I'm going to get you guys to do on your own, just working for just a little bit. This head, this sort of piece of equipment is something that it's just a headgear with a ball inside of it. And I've been using this, something like this, for about 11 years. 11 or 12 years had some kind of thing like this to simulate, you know, a head. I mean, I'm sure they make something better than this, but this is what I've always used. Any kind of a ball. If you don't have something like this, you can hold, let's say, a medicine ball that has handles, or you can even hold like a half Bosu, or you can hold a double end bag, an old double end bag that you don't use. You could use that to hold. Let's say John is the outside fighter, what we talked about before. He has two strategies. One is to keep the shorter fighter on the end of his range, because that way he's hitting the target, which is the shorter fighter, but the shorter fighter still has to step closer in order to hit his target. So for example, let's say I'm the shorter fighter. Let's say this is only my reach, as just for example's sake. Here's my head, this is only my reach. Well, he's hitting me right there. As I move towards him, he can still hit me. Let's come back here. As I move towards him, he can still hit me. So one of the strategies of the taller fighter, the outside fighter, is to be precisely, when you enter into the strike zone, is to maintain the strike range perfectly and continue to move all around. Now you won't be able to do that for every second, obviously, because of the exchanges and clinches and moving in and out. But you want to work on timing that distance and keeping the shorter fighter at that distance for as long as you can, for most of the time that you can, provided that you have the conditioning to back it up. So one drill to do that is for me to take some kind of object and get him to move backwards at angles, freestyle, hitting it with shots, just so that he doesn't have to think too much. He can just have some fun hitting this and getting a feel for what the exact right range is to know exactly where he needs to be based on his reach. So let's do that. We're going to do that for about 30 seconds so you can have a look at it. And then I'm going to get you guys, wherever you are, to work a drill similar to that on your own just to get a feel. Okay? So let's get started. See, here he is, maximizing his range. Working the hook as well. Working the left hook on there. Uppercuts. Now, of course, a lot of times, the shorter fighter isn't just going to come at you at a slow pace. They may rush you. We don't have that much room here to keep it on camera, but if you are one of the people holding this bag, you could work this short range and then suddenly do a rush. So the outside fighter gets used to making the quick move. As a quick example here, he's hitting, and then I go. And then he moves quickly back. Again, he's hitting, and then he moves quickly back. If you're in a ring, you have a larger area, this is how you would do it. Keeping the opponent on the end of your punch, and then every now and then, closing the gap to give that feel of the shorter fighter really rushing in on you. Okay, so what I want everybody here watching to do, take a bit of time, even if you're just in a small space. You're going to step back, and as you step back, you're going to create angles while you're punching. Boom, boom, boom. You want to maximize your range. Turning. Turning. Every now and then, you can rush out. Just get used to those small steps. Imagine you have that shorter fighter at the end of your range. and you're gonna hit to that end of the range and keep that opponent right there. Maximize your reach. Okay? So for 30 seconds to a minute, work on that, and then we'll be right back. Good stuff. Wow, that's 15 minutes in. Nice. A lot of time, a lot just to cover. So next we're going to work on this one.
Yeah.
Right, and then going both ways.
Yeah.
We're going to cover that one next.
You got it.
Okay, so guys, work through that for another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get on to the next piece. I like it that we have this.
That's great, yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, we covered the jam distance. Okay. All right, guys, time. We're going to go over the next segment of distance and range, and this is going to be more for the shorter fighter. Now, when you're a shorter fighter and you're trying to get inside, again, it's that concept of not letting your head be in that center target zone. So if John holds out his fist, right, and then he takes a step forward, he takes a step back, this whole range right here is a place where I don't want my head to be. I don't want it to be there for too long. If I step in and I have a shorter reach and he throws, boom. If he steps back, he's still going to hit me. So there are a couple solutions to this. I'll go over the basic ones really quick, which you should probably already know, but if not, we'll cover some basic ones. And then we're going to go over the more advanced one in case you're really in a tight situation and can't seem to close the gap on that taller opponent. Okay. So the first one that's most common is a slip left with a step. That gets you past this danger range, and then I throw after that to close the gap. So just to simulate, he's going to hold out a jab. Okay, I step to get out past that range, and then I step in, and then I go to work. Okay, I'll let John demo that really slow. Step, and then a go. Boom, and then closes the gap. You can go a little wider to create an angle, or you can take a short slip and still come in tight. Boom, and he's got me. And that covers the range. Let's say I really put this glove out to give a long range. That's right. The head movement around the side, and then he comes in. Now, that's going to the left. Okay, and if I was southpaw, I could still do the same thing. He holds out the jab, I slip here, and I can still come over. It's still going to work for southpaws. This next one for southpaws might be a little bit harder, so we'll go over it. It's not as easy to pull off, but it's still possible. The next one that I like, if he holds the glove out to show the range, instead of going to the left, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip and pull this foot in and come underneath. And this happens quick. I pull this foot in and drive to the body to get off onto that right side. It's here. Boom. Now, he comes in, or he holds out the jab. I step. Boom. Let's say he moves back and I miss. I come with a second jab, or it's body head. So I go, he steps back, I miss, I come again to close the gap. Those are the two basic ways to close the gap for a shorter fighter: to slip and go, or to shuffle the back leg and drive up. The problem with this sort of method is this is a 2-beat method. So it almost takes 2 moves. And it only covers so much distance. So he holds out. It's 1, 2. Again, it's 1. This is sort of 1 half, 1, and 2. I go again. Once you do those methods enough, it's very easy for the outside fighter to pick up on that and start to time your 2-beat rhythm. 1, 2. It's just like how you saw Ricky Hatton get checked by the Mayweather hook. Slip outside, boom, come back into 2-beat rhythm. You wait for the slip, step back, home, and counter. So in this case, let's say John is going to step back with a check left hook. We're just drill it so you see a check left hook. Step back left hook. Step back straight. That's the move. Just step back with a check left hook. Okay? If he's the outside fighter and I go slip left and I come at him, he can still do the same thing. Check left hook. I slip. And he checks me as I come in. So I go 1, 1. As I go 2, he throws the hook. Boom. Same thing on this side. He can step back, throw that right hand coming down. If I drive in, he can step back and throw that right hand down. I drive in, boom. I hit as I'm coming in. So one way to get past that is to fake one way and go the other way. Now, when you fake one way and go the other way, it doesn't actually set you up for, it sets you up for the attack, but it doesn't guarantee that the attack will be successful. It just sets you up for a good chance at making an attack. So you got to remember that. If you're having a hard time getting inside on the taller fighter, this sort of move uses up a lot of energy up front, but it gets you to the place you need to be. So if all else is failing, or if things aren't working for you, or you have extra energy in the tank, you can use this to close the gap to get to a position where all things are equal. At least you have a chance once you let your combo go. Okay? So here's how it works. He holds out the jab. Now remember, I don't want my head to pass through this zone. That's why I'm going here, and that's why I'm going here. But if I pass through this zone going across, I'm going to be pretty safe. So here's the technique. I'm going to fake left with a quick step. It's like a quarter beat or a half beat. It's not one. It's sort of a little give to load this front foot. I load this front foot, and then I'm going to come across here with a high guard. Now his arm won't be fully extended. That's just to show you I'm going to cross through the line of fire to get deep inside on my opponent. I fake quick to load that front foot, and I push, and I get here. Now let's say he tries to hit me as I'm coming across. I'm going to have my guard up. I fake. It's very hard to time that, believe it or not. As somebody's coming across, to fit that glove, his jab right between the gloves, it's not easy to time. So here I am. Let's say he's going to try to time me. I fake, and then I get here. Once I get here, now I have a chance. Jab, jab, right hand. Okay? Let me demo this side for you in front. You can watch it, and then I want you guys to work on it on your own. Here you are. You fake. It's a quick. You load that front foot. It can step out or it can step forward. But this head has to get off the center line. I fake. Push. Now when you push, I'm in my same stance over here on a 45-degree angle. Okay, I'm going to let John demo it on the pads a couple times. And then you guys will work on this one side on your own. So from here first, he fakes left with a quick half slip. It's half a beat. Then he cuts right. Then he's here. Now the combo that I like, I don't necessarily like slipping right and throwing with the right hand, because if the guy turns and throws the right hand at the same time as you, it's easy to walk into it. What I like is once you get loaded there, to start with a jab, just to get your bearings, just to get the combination started. So from there, he's gonna go 1, 1, 2. Let's go slowly. He fakes left, here he's fine. He fakes left, he's gonna cross through my line of fire with a high guard. Then 1, 1, 2. Once he's cutting deep. He fakes and goes. And then 1, 1, 2. He fakes and goes. And then 1, 1, 2. Once he's on the angle. You can see how deep he gets. Even if I step back, he's going to get pretty close. He fakes, goes, and then he's there. 1, 1, 2. Okay? So, take a minute to work on this on your own. Even if you just get a feel for the footwork, you can always push the speed later when you're in the gym. You don't have to go full speed right now. A quick fake to load the front foot. You're going to cut across with a high guard. You don't want to cut across like this in the line of fire. Quick, cut, jab, jab, cross. Okay, work that for now. We're going to do the opposite side, show you what to do, and that would apply to southpaws. Southpaws, you guys are going to have to do the same thing, but it's going to go to opposite sides. They work both sides. So right now, take a minute to practice this. Fake, push, 1, 1, 2, once you've gotten that angle. All right, go for it, guys. Be back in 1 minute. Wow, a lot more content than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought at least I got more than
I didn't know that would happen. I mean, it's all pretty in depth.
I actually had a feeling it would be the other way.
Yeah? No.
Because I'm thinking of my instructional videos, but they're so
Exactly.
Once you get in the groove, you get comfortable.
Exactly, yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah. Keep working on it, guys. Another minute or so, another 30 seconds. I got 10 people in there. Okay, so remember guys, as you're working through this, this is going to be recorded and loaded. I have another version on another device being recorded, which is more HD, so you'll also get a closer look at some of these moves if you're having a hard time with this view right now. And again, if you have any questions about it after the webinar, you can always ask me, and we can go through the steps to make sure you're able to use these tactics and these moves. Okay, let's get on to the other side. You can stop now. We're going to get on to going the other direction for the shorter fighter. Then after that, we're going to work on some combos to get some angles on the inside. And then if we have time at the end, we'll have time. We're going to do just a little partner Philly shell drill for those of you who want to develop that side of your game and work on it. We might go over the time, but that's okay because it's going to be recorded and then you can watch it later at your own convenience. Okay, so we went left. So now we're gonna go to the right. Sorry, we faked left, we came over to the right. Fake left, came over to the right. Now we're gonna fake right and go left. The footwork is a little bit different. So here I am. John holds out his jab. He's got a long reach. We're gonna assume he's the long range fighter. Again, I'm having trouble with my back step. It's not closing the gap for me. So I'm gonna go on a 2-beat rhythm or a 1.5 beat rhythm that gets me closer. Here I am in my stance. I fake right with that back step, like as if I was going to go in there. I fake right, it's really quick. And then I cut across, I load that back foot, and I cut across. Here. I cut through the line of fire with a high guard. If he tries to time me as I cut across, he's just going to hit my guard. It's going to be very hard for him to break it. If he's going to want to break it, he's going to have to throw a bunch of punches as I'm coming in, which is fine because I'm moving diagonally with a high guard. Chances are I'm going to block them all or slip them. So he throws the jab as I step across. I fake right, and I've totally blocked that shot. Not only that, he's used that arm to try to hit me, so that means there's an opening for that split second. Since we're loaded this way, we're going to follow up with the left hook right hand. So here, I fake and go. Fake, go. If I need to get closer, I'll take a little hop with the left hook. Boom. Boom. Okay, one more time. Quick half step. See this back foot here? It just pulls in. Quick half step. I go. Left hook. Right hand. So this tactic doesn't guarantee that you're going to land the shot, but it has a high success rate of getting you to where you need to be to start throwing. And that's the problem with a lot of shorter fighters. Once, if you are, let's say 5'7", 5'8", and you're going up against someone 5'11" with decent speed, you're okay. But once you start getting 6'1", 6'2", with pretty good speed, it takes another level to close that gap. So this is one of those tactics that gets you a little bit closer. So we're going to go through it right here slowly, and I'm going to get you on your own, wherever you are, just to work on this footwork and this setup. So here, I take a step. Actually, let me let John do it first. I want you to see him do it first. He's going to take a half step with the back foot, slip a little bit to the right to make sure that he's sort of faking me out. He cuts to the left. He's already on the outside, in position. Left hook, right hand. So let's go. He fakes and goes and throws. Fake and go, then throw. Well, and back me up, covering a lot of ground with that fake and go. Even further back. Go for it. Boom. And then again he goes. Okay, so you cover a lot of ground with that. So at home, or wherever you are, work on that tactic. Fake with a little back step. This gets you closer. Then, cut to your angle. Throw. Okay, one more time. Fake, go. Then throw. So take about a minute to work on that. And they're going to work on some combos to throw while you're on the inside. All right, great. 36 minutes. So this, working your way to the angle, you're with me here. Left hook as you step across. Uppercut. Left hook. Want to make sure we get the best place for them to view it, which would probably be like on an angle here.
Right, go like this.
Yes. Okay. All right. We're going to go on to the next move Next tactic, covering inside fighting. Now, when you're fighting on the inside, there are only so many openings. Usually you've got the outside. Let me just work it through with John. Let's say John's in a tight position. Let's say he's in more of a peekaboo style stance. His hands are up, elbows are in. If his elbows are right tucked to his body, tight, I've got the outside here a bit. I've got a little bit on the side of the head. You gotta watch, because an amateur or pro, what you're allowed to get away with, it's a little bit different. You have more opening in the pro game. So here I've got a little bit on the side of the head. If he's wide with his guard, just a little bit, I might have something up the middle. So a lot of times when you're working on the inside, it's outside, up, low, high, up. But the one thing that is the problem with inside fighting is often you're right in front of your opponent. If I throw 2 punches, boom, boom, he can feel that this is the last punch I threw, and he knows that's the counter. Bam. Or even with an uppercut. Let's get a little closer. So if I throw, let's say, boom, boom, that's the opening right there. So standard inside fighting is a lot of sort of battling for these openings, but it is more of a chess match in terms of openings, because once I throw that last shot, he knows there's an opportunity there. Let's say I go body, head, and I go body, boom, boom, he's got that opening right there. So what's gonna make it easier for me on the inside is if I can get to an angle. But the problem is, I don't wanna just go like this and just try to jump to an angle. You can do that, it's possible, I can do that, but usually he can adjust pretty quick, because as soon as I move, he moves. So if I go here and I move to an angle, he's just going to be able to step over and adjust to me really easy. Or if I go here, he adjusts to me very easy. So a couple things that help with that is you're going to punch your way or work your way to the angle, and that keeps your fighter busy and keeps them distracted and keeps the heat on them. That way you can set up a better opening. Now, I'm going to demonstrate we're going to work it to the right and to the left. So the first one is, I'm going to try to get to the outside right here. And it requires stepping through if I'm orthodox. If I'm southpaw, I don't have to step through, I can just shift. So here we are on the inside, guard up, a little bit closer. Okay, we're on the inside. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw this left hook while I step. Right here. It's just to keep him busy. This right hand, I'm going to try to fit it right up the middle. There's that little bit of an opening. I'm going to try to fit it. Let's say you're here. I step. And then I'm going to try to fit this right there. If I can barely get that, I'm still going to go here. And then over top. But what I've done is I'm worked on the inside, kept myself a little bit safer by shifting and getting to the angle, and prevented an opening from a counterpunch. He's going to have to turn. So one of the best things to do on the inside is punch your way to the angle and then work from the angle while you're punching. So John is going to demo this as well. So I'll get you on this side. I'll get you right. He's going to switch stance, step through with the right foot, throw the left hook. Boom. I'm here trying to cover that. This is keeping my hand in position as I blocked it. He comes up the middle with a right uppercut. Boom. And then possibly a left hook in that opening. So to go through it again, he steps. Boom. That locks me up. Uppercut, left hook. If you're with a partner, this is a great drill you can work while keeping in a tight position and having your partner just work it. So we're going to go here. I'm going to let him work this drill 3 times. We're going to go over it with you guys again and have you work it as well. And I'm just keeping a tight defense. Now remember, if I keep too tight of a defense this way, the openings show up along the body. So whatever is happening, the person who's attacking still has an opportunity. You just have to read whether the defense is tight or whether it's wide or high or low. You have to be able to, on the inside, look for those small openings. So he goes again. Goes again. All right, thanks. So let's just break it down for you guys really slowly so that you can work on it in your shadow boxing. Hopefully get a partner you can work on it with and then bring it to your sparring. Again, the general concept is when you're on the inside, there are only so many openings in front of your opponent. If you're not moving your head, every time you attack, it leaves you open. So another solution is to punch your way to the angle with a short step. So you have to make sure you have a good position. From here, you're going to step your right foot through to southpaw, throw the left hook. If you already are southpaw, then you just step there. Boom. And then you're going to switch to orthodox. Technically, while you're in that position. If you are orthodox, you're going to step with a short hook. Keeps them busy. You get to the outside. Right uppercut. Left hook. Or left hook to the body. Whatever opening you see. One more time, and I'm going to let you guys work on it for a minute on your own. Here, right foot steps through with a left hook. Same time. Right uppercut. Left hook. Okay, so it's left hook, right uppercut, left hook. Work on it for a minute, and then we'll be back to go over the other side. The next one, you probably remember, step with the left foot through the overhand right, dig to the body, spin on that left hook out, set the right hand. That's what you said. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance just to work through that footwork and that tactic. We're going to move on to the next one. I've got this I want to cover, and then one more partner drill, and then we'll be done for the webinar. So again, we're working on this concept of fighting your way to the angle, working your way to the angle, as opposed when you're on the inside, as opposed to throwing and exchanging or relying on head movement, or as opposed to just simply moving to an angle where it's easy to adjust and just take a step. If you see someone move to the angle, it's easy to adjust to that. So we covered going to the right. Now, the nature of it in general, because especially if you're fighting an orthodox, if I'm in front of my opponent, every time I come to the right, my body goes closer. Just because of the nature of the center line and where the pivot point is. The pivot point is the lead foot. If I step, I go closer. If I go to my left, I will go further away. So we're going to cover going to the left, but you have to know that depending on your stance, it will set up different range shots. If I am southpaw and I'm going to go to the left for this particular tactic, it's going to require a shift in the step. So you will be there on the inside, and it will require a shift and a pivot out. Okay, So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to demo it. Get a little bit closer. I'm on the inside. I want to get to the angle over here. So I'm going to work my way to that angle. I take a quick step. I throw a short overhand right or a short hook and try to set that body shot. I really make it look like that's what I'm going for. So I go here. Boom, boom. And I try to set that up. I'm here. Step, overhand right, or short right hook. One fight, you'll see a lot of this, was Hopkins versus Pavlik. When he was on the inside, he threw a lot of this short overhand high hooks. Not so much an overhand right, but almost like a high hook as he would drop down. So that's a good fight to check out tactics along these lines. Hopkins versus Pavlik. I'm down here. I stuffed the body shot. Now, I've got my head out of the center line. I'm off his path, but I'm still not on an angle yet. I'm going to pivot as I throw my left hook to keep him busy. Boom. Now I'm on the angle, and I've lined up a nice shot up the middle. He can still block it, but he's going to have to work to block it. Plus, I'm in a very safe place. So, at the very worst, I've just worked him and he's blocked all my shots. That's usually the worst case scenario in this type of tactic. And then again, of course, like everything else, you need the conditioning and the skills to support this sort of output or work. So here we go again. I'm going to demo it slow. I'm on the inside here. I step. I go for that body shot. I immediately pivot with a hook. I bring this hand back only a short bit. I don't want lots of space. Boom. I'm now on the angle. I fire the right hand straight down the pipe. Okay, so John is going to demo this on me a few times. If you are southpaw here, you will step on that right hand. It's a distraction. Boom. 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 Right hand. Okay, so you guys can work through it right now while John is working through it, or just watch, or do both at the same time. John is on the inside, right up close. He steps outside with the left foot, throws the overhand right. There. This has got me tightened up. He digs to the body. That will usually cause me to dip because I want to block that shot. He pivots out with the left hook. There. Now you can see he's got that left hook. Come back over there for me. That left hook has kept me busy. Maybe he's got it, maybe not. But this is the shot that everything is set up for, is that finishing right hand down the pipe. And then he throws it. Boom. And that's what you're hoping to get down. Work the guy over, create the angle, finish with the big shot while you're in an optimal position. So let's go over it again. He steps outside with the overhand right. Body shot, left hook, down the pipe. Steps out, body, pivot, throw. And as you get smoother, you'll build up the speed. He's going to throw it a few more times just at his own natural speed, whatever he feels comfortable with. Good. One more time. All right, nice. So for you right now, take a minute to work on it. Let's go over it. You're in your orthodox stance. You're in tight. If you were working this on the bag for practice, you'd get right up against the bag as close as you can. And you'll feel the space. As soon as you step out from the bag, you'll feel that space that you suddenly have. Step, overhand right or a short hook. Whatever is as short as possible. Dig the body shot. Body shot with a short recoil, left hook and a pivot. This has to happen fast. 1, 2, 3. Over. Body hook with a pivot. And now you've got the angle. Home. Then you're going to throw that right down the angle. One more time and then you work on it for a minute. Over. body, pivot on the hook, right hand. If you're a southpaw, you have to take a little step outside with the right hook. Dig to the body, pivot on the hook, throw the right hand. Okay, so take a minute to work on that right now, these steps, and then we're going to go on to the final piece, working out of the Philly shell. All right, work on it 1 minute. So we'll do this bump up,
Yep.
drop down, hook,
Yep.
pivot, counter 2, 3, 2.
Got it.
Oh, we'll give them another minute or so.
Yeah.
And then that'll be that. All right, time. So the last component is the Philly shell. Now some people, some amateurs or even pros, they've been working the Philly shell for a while, they're very comfortable with it. But for a lot of people, this is not an easy type of defense. It's not your standard high guard, peekaboo style amateur defense. If you're not good with this shoulder roll or turning out of the shell, you can easily get hit by the overhand right. You can get caught with the left uppercut or right uppercut up the middle. I mean, it still applies to the other guards as well, but it's something that you have to get used to. So one of the best ways to get used to it is just to work the ABCs of the Philly shell with a partner, blocking the different type of shots you'll get. The main kind of shots you will get are jab, straight right, overhand right, left hook to the head. The body, you are pretty secure, but you will have to work dips for those body shots, and you can add those in as well if you like. But for now, we're going to sort of work the basics of the drill just with the main basic punches that you're going to face. So John is in his shell right here. Now, if you block the jab, you can block the jab two ways. You can block it with the standard catch, or what you can do is lift the shoulder up and tilt the body back. What that does is, it's almost like a snapback. It brings the head further away. When the head is further away, I've got to reach to get that right hand, or I've got to get closer. So again, the defense that you apply often puts the opponent in a position where he has to change what he was planned on doing or has to adapt to your type of defense. For example, if he just catches the jab, he's right there in this position. If I throw the right hand, he's just going to do a standard cross roll to block it. This lighting is going to be on this side. I'll get you back. Let's get you, just get this light. There we go. Get this light. Get you guys a little bit closer. But if he tilts back, that is a different setup. So I jab, he's going to tilt back and get his shoulder in the way. A little bit more. Now, this effectively, if you watch, if I throw a hard jab, it's blocked the jab, it's sort of a snapback, he's tucked, his chin is tucked. If I follow through, this is at most what I'm going to catch. But here's the other problem. If he tilts back like that, his head is all the way over there. I no longer am going to throw here. I've got to go all the way over there to get him. That's going to set up him messing up my distance. To avoid that, he's just going to drop down Sugar Ray Leonard styles. Drop down like so. So here we go. I throw the jab, he blocks it, then he drops. Now, when he drops, he can stay far back or drop in. Sort of kind of cut back in this way so that I really overthrow my right hand. He tilts back, then cuts down and in. There, I've really overthrown. Now this is annoying because I feel too close. If I'm going to try to get off a left hook, it's going to be short. I'm not going to have any leverage. But if I do, he's just going to tilt back up and twist the body to block the left hook. Okay? So this drill, there's a little bit more to it. If you're working with a partner, all you want to do is get your partner to throw. Jab, right hand, left hook, right hand. Or jab, overhand right, left hook, right hand. That way you can work. Catch, drop, block, turn, or tilt back, drop, turn, turn. Okay, so let's go over it right here slowly. He's going to tilt back. He tilts back with the jab. I really overthrow to get the right hand. He drops. I want to get that left hook. I'm still throwing. He tilts up. Now I throw the straight right because I see the opening there. He blocks again. And then to set up all this, he's going to counter whatever you want, but 2-3-2 is nice. And I just block in my standard peekaboo block, and he gets to work that with me as a partner. So here I go again. Jab. He tilts back. I go for it. Left hook. Right hand. Go. As you get comfortable with this, you can start to work this pattern. I go. I go. I go. I pick up the speed a little bit. So as you can see, once he gets really tucked into that shell position and is used to seeing those different punches coming, he can really adapt. And this is just a base drill to get a feel for the twisting and the level changes. You can always work different punches, adding the body shots at the end. So for example, let's say I go jab, and then I go right, then left hook, then right hand. If I want, I'm going to go to the body. All he's going to do is just dig that elbow in. I go to the body, I go to the body here, and then he just drops that elbow back in. Or if I go here, this is all here, here, same idea. Now, if you're on your own, you can still work the Philly shell drill. You just have to have a good imagination and be able to work with seeing those punches coming. So on your own, you could be right in front of a bag. Here, drop, left, right, catch, drop, left hook block, shoulder roll. Okay, so take a minute to work on the shell just on your own out of that drill. But ideally, you're going to get a partner so you can feel comfortable having those punches blocked and roll off you. Have your partner start out slow, but then have your partner really try to catch you with nice clean shots in a predictable drill. That way you'll know whether the defense is effective or not. Work on it right now. Here, tilt up. This shoulder should come as high as the top of your head. Here, your chin is tucked. Bend down. I can tilt back down or straight. Twist with the left hook. Twist the shoulder in. Counter, 2, 3, 2. So work on that for a minute, and we'll be right back to conclude the webinar.
Nice.
All right, yeah, nice. Cool. Nice.
It's a buddy of mine. I can't wait to show that drill too.
Yeah?
He's gonna be back in town soon.
Oh yeah, he likes.
He's always loved that Philly shell Mayweather style, and he just kind of does it on his own. But that drill is going to really help a lot.
It wasn't until the last few years that people really felt if they weren't trained in boxing gym, they could pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everyone. So that concludes the webinar. We covered distance, maximizing distance or understanding your distance. We covered different strategies to use if you're a taller fighter, which is one of them is working on the perimeter, keeping your partner or your opponent at your perimeter. One way you can work that is if somebody has a ball or a double end bag, or you can get a headgear and put a ball in it and have them come towards you and you work back, maximizing your range. Have them rush you as well, so you get used to seeing the opponent change the speed and you can adjust. You go back on angles. We covered the jab exchange drill, which is basically just jabbing back and forth, but the purpose of it is so the person defending the jab can work different types of defense to play with distance on the defensive side, and so that the attacker can play with different distance as they attack to feel how close do they need to get, or can they go further away, and what different types of distance will set up other opportunities, whether you got to get in close to go for the body shot, set up the right hand. What if the opponent snaps back? Then what do? This way you get used to the different types of defense. We covered, if you are a short or inside fighter, different ways that you can get inside as opposed to the two beat, slip and go, or slip and go. You're going to fake one way, cut across on a diagonal and then go. You're going to fake one way, cut and then go. This doesn't guarantee that your attack is going to land, but it does guarantee you a fair chance. It gets you to where you need to be to have a chance. The only downside to that is that it uses up a lot of energy, a lot of leg energy, so that you have to make sure that you're trained to be able to sustain those moves. We worked on attacking from the inside and setting up angles from the inside. On the inside, it's often a chess match of who's outworking who or where the openings are. But if you want to have a better chance, aside from head movement and fast hands, you work your way to the angle to set up shots that put you in a better position and take the opponent out of position. And one of the best ways to do that is to punch your way to the angle and work there. And then finally, for those of you who want to work on the Philly shell or add that to part of your game, it's even if you're typically a peekaboo style fighter, it's nice to mix it up with the shell because it does give you good range of motion. Here, unlike this way, you tend to be a little more square side to side. The shell gives you some nice range, and again, it keeps your opponent guessing. Working with a partner, doing the tilt back, drop, the turn, and the shoulder with the counter. Working that drill is a nice way to get comfortable in the Philly shell so that you can bring that to your sparring and again, bring that to your fights. So this is being recorded right here. I have another version being recorded as well. I'm going to have this up for you within the next day, and you can watch it for 5 days after that. And if you have any questions, go to the webinar page, send me your questions. If there's a certain part of the techniques or tactics that you weren't sure about, you can always ask me, and I'll make sure that I explain it so you get it. I want to make sure that all this stuff that we're going through here is something that you can actually pick up and use right away in your training and in your sparring. Okay, so I want to thank John for helping me out here from the Body Temple in Toronto, Ontario. Thank you guys for checking out this seminar. I hope that you find this stuff useful and that it's really helpful. And I hope to see you again at any future seminars that I'll have coming up. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.